Hello and welcome to everyone. I'm Vladimir, the Bulgarian Cowboy Vlad, and this is going to be my discussion about the UFC. Just 1 second, please. I have to do something just to turn off this thing. I'm just turning this off. Have to turn my phone off. I completely forgot. Sorry. Made a mistake. Just 1 second, okay? Switch it off. Come on. Just want to turn you off. Okay, I'm just gonna give a quick shout out on Twitter. And I'm gonna rock and roll. So yeah, that's it. Fine. Okay. Alright, let's go. Fine. Let me slowly go with the upcoming card. And right now, I'm gonna discuss Logan Storley versus Michael Venom Page. That's the fight card I'm gonna discuss about right now, and I'm pretty much grateful to say that we're gonna see a night of great fights. Prelims are free, so don't miss it. Kiara Penko is going to meet Lanchana Green. Kiara Penko, 6'3", Beastie Barbie, 5'4", 66 inches of reach height, fighting out of Livorno, Italy. She was better than Katarina Dalista, and at Bellator Euro Series, she was better than Alexandra Toncheva, unfortunately. Lost to Dani McCormack and Karolina Wojcik. She is a decent fighter, and Lanchana Green, Mean Green, 4'1", 5'5", very dangerous opponent out of Darlington, England, a lab fighter. And she is making her official Bellator debut. Lost to Kanako Murata via Anaconda choke, but guess what? There is a good news. Kiara Penko is not the greatest submission specialist. She is okay, but she is not a superb submission specialist. She lost to Magdalena Shormova, for example, which makes me believe that Lanchana Green has chances. And I think she has decent chances to win this fight. So I'm gonna say Green to win. Green to win. Plus 185. I see her as a fighter with a better cardio. Green to win via decision. Plus 375. I don't see her getting submitted. And also Penko defeated Toncheva, so I want her to lose so badly. Lee Chadwick is gonna fight Maciej Rożanski. Lee Chadwick, 27-15, 1, 6'0", 72 inches of reach. Atherton submission wrestling. The guy's on a roll right now. I mean, he scored 2 back-to-back wins over Christian Macedo and Arunas Andriskevicius. He lost to Carl Moore, fought against James Mulheron, Victor Chang, lost to Fabian Edwards via decision. Very tough fighter to deal with. Maciej Spartan Rożanski, 13-3-0, 6'1", 74 inches of reach. Berserker's team fighter. He fought at TFM, he fought at some local Polish promotions. Now gonna meet extremely tough Lee Chadwick. I don't see this as a mismatch, but even some people believe Rożanski gonna win. I think Chadwick is a very, very hard opponent to deal with. So I'm going to say Chadwick to win for plus 175, or Rożanski versus Chadwick. Fight goes the distance. Fight goes the distance is going to be plus 155. Yeah, Rożanski will try to knock him out early on, but I think Chadwick still has some chin left. Charlie Ward is going to fight Alan Carlos, and Charlie Ward, 9'0", 5'11", 73.5 inches of reach, SBG Island fighter, who defeated Kyle Kurtz, Andy Manzolo, Justin Moore, Jamie Stevenson, Martin Hudson, John Redmond, and he lost to Abdul Razak Al Hassan, lost to Pietro Panini. He also fought at UFC. He's a former UFC name, but two back-to-back losses to Razak Al Hassan and Galore Bofando. Gonna meet Alan Carlos, 13-9-0, 6'3", out of Salvador Bahia, Brazil, fought at Cage Warriors, lost to Jack Hermansson, then he defeated Norman Paresi. But he hasn't fought for like 4 years, and his shape is kind of questionable. I think Charlie Ward should get this one. Not saying easily, but anything outside of Charlie Ward's victory would be a massive upset. So, hey mate. Charlie Ward to win. Let me see. Charlie Ward to win, minus 490. Okay, I'll check the mail. And to be honest, I'll be about Charlie Ward. I think Charlie Ward gonna win pretty much easily. So yes, I do have a feeling that Charlie Ward gonna win. Let me see how much is Charlie Ward to win inside the distance. Charlie Ward inside the distance. Ward inside the distance, minus 165. Minus 165 for Charlie Ward to win inside the distance. That is going to be an okay thing to deal with, as much as I can say, for Charlie Ward. So let's see now the next one. Now I got Andrew Fisher versus Attila Corkmers, and Andrew Fisher, 1881. Featherweight fighter, 5'10", 68.5 inches of reach, out of Sunderland, England. No contest against Robert Whiteford. He was better than Ashley Grimshaw, and this guy actually holds great victories over Jakob Stepanian, Nicholas Beckstrom, Diego Vargas, lost Norman Park, but other than that, lost to Artem Lobov, Sal Almeida, Joe Taimanglo, but he has a lot of experience. And Attila Corkmaz, I like to call him the fearless, the real lion. This is a lion inside the cage, 12'6", 5'8", fighting out of Berlin, Germany. This guy is always going for all or nothing, and yeah, he had a lot of wins, decision losses. That fight against Levan Makashvili was brutal. That was outstanding fight. I've really seen a great fight, but I always like to watch that fight millions of times between Attila Korkmaz and Levan Makashvili. They were fighting until the last time, Brad. Sometimes he wins, sometimes he loses, but his fights are always super entertaining to watch. And lost to Lomali Eskiju, lost to Raul Ragimov, but victory over Walid Sagir is telling me that this guy is extremely tough. And from what I've seen, yeah, Korkmaz is a slight underdog. Wow. Fisher versus Korkmaz. Fight goes the distance. Fisher versus Korkmaz. Fight goes the distance. How much is? Minus 185. And let me say Fisher to win, minus 145. But Korkmaz can win this also. I'm not that confident in that one. Pretty much not confident in this matchup. But that's how it looks in general, you know. That's how in general it looks. And I'm really much looking forward to it, guys. And I'm hoping Alfie Davis or Tim Wilde. I think I'm gonna lean Team Wilde. That's the next fight on the list of predictions. I think I'm gonna lean Team Wilde for this one. Alfie Davis, Team Wilde. This is the next fight. Alfie Davis, 14-4-0, 30 years of age, 5'11", 70 inches of reach, fighting out of London shoot fighters. That fight against Alexander Shabili, when I rewatched it, I've seen that Alfie Davis was slowing down in the later rounds, and that kind of made me wonder, Prior to that, he wasn't slowing down, so guys with high-level pace might actually create him a problem. He defeated Daniel Escatizzi, Jorge Canelo, Alessandro Botia, Con Venlis. The guy is not a finisher, but his pace used to be good, but against his last opponent, against Alexander Shabili, he started slowing down, and I was like, what is happening? Like, Tim Wilde, 34 years of age, 5'11", 74 inches of reach, out of Staffordshire, England, holds victories over Charlie Leary, Yves Landau, lost to Brent Primus via Gogo Plata. I know that's kind of a reason to worry, but Brent Primus' submission skills are brutal. Like, also lost to Alexander Jacobson, but he was losing to high-level names. I mean, if you take a look at the fighters he was losing, these are all high-level names. And the guy is a fearsome striker. Also, Alfie Davis is not extremely skillful submission expert, like, for example, Brent Primus. So I think I'm gonna lean Team Wilde for this one. Team Wilde plus 125. How much is Wilde inside the distance? Wilde to win plus 125. Wilde inside the distance plus 330, I think. I'm just checking that odd just to find it. Wilde inside the distance plus 330. Yes. Wilde inside the distance is plus 330. The next fight is Kay Jackson versus Elena Kalinidou. Elena Kalinidou is a high-level prospect, but she used to be one of the greatest sensations, but she is now 24, fighting out of Preveza, Greece, 5'6", 66 inches of reach. Out of Armago's gym, she heel-hooked Petra Chestkova, prior lost to Brunel and Beck Rawlings. Lost to Anastasia Yankova, lost to Sinead Kavanaugh, but extremely tough fighter. It's very, very hard to defeat her, This girl has the heart of a lion. She was born with the heart of a lion, and she never surrenders. Now gonna meet Kay Jackson, 5'6", 67 inches of reach, out of flow martial arts. She lost to Denise Kilfoltz, lost to Elena Malay McFarlane. She defeated Anastasia Yankova, was better than Lena Ovchinnikova. Lost to Valerie Letourneau, was better than Brianna Tyrell, Colleen Schneider. And the TUF season, I mean, she fought some high-level opponents and lost to Tatiana Suarez, which was kind of a surprise for me. I was expecting Kay Jackson was gonna slam that contract. Also lost to Yana Dojechuk, extremely tough opponent, but Elena Kalinidou has no problem with fighting big level names, as well as you know. I mean, fighting big level name, that's just a challenge for Elena, and that's gonna be nothing but a challenge. And Kay Jackson to win. Jackson versus Kalinidou. Fight goes the distance. Minus 175. Can Elena pull this out? Yes, Bellator is tomorrow. Don't know exact time yet, but there is a solid chance that I will be alive for Bellator. For main card only, because I'm busy for prelims. Let me say Kay Jackson to win. How much is the odd? Kay Jackson to win, minus 150. Okay. Kay Jackson to win, minus 150. Jackson decision. I'm better. I'm just back from the game. I was reffing today. Hey, how are you, Dev the dude? MVP odds. I'm gonna check MVP odds. Trainer Kilfoltz parlay for 1.2 units. That's okay, parlay. I back that up, man. I back that up all day long, Abu Dhabi. Jackson decision. I'm gonna check MVP odds just to see Jackson decision. Jackson decision plus 135. Okay. Let me see. Venom page, some high level odds on Venom page. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. Page to win plus 225. I like Elena. Yes, MVP is tomorrow. Plus 225 page to win. Yes, he's tomorrow. I like Elena. I also like Elena. I would rather go with fight goes the distance than, you know that, dude. I would rather go with fight goes the distance than picking a side in that one, as Elena is extremely tough. Everybody knows that. Like Elena is extremely tough fighter. That's one of the reasons why I respect her that much. Oliver Enkamp is gonna meet Mark Lemminger. And Oliver Enkamp, 10-3-0, 6'0", 76.5 inches of reach, out of Stockholm, Sweden. Lost to Kyle Kretschmer. Prior to that, he defeated Walter Gahaja, Louis Long, Emmanuel Dava. Great submission skills, great striking skills. Lost to Nordin Taleb, Danny Roberts in the UFC, but I see him as a guy who's successfully building his career in the world of Bellator. And Mark Lemminger, 12'4", 6'0", 70 inches of reach. We got a situation where Enkamp is going to have massive reach advantage, and Lemminger lost to Neyman Gracie, lost to Jalal Willis, lost to Yaroslav Mosov, defeated Marquise Jackson, Jake Smith. Yeah, he has a lot of experience under his belt, but that loss to Jason Witt, it worries me, because I see Oliver Enkamp as a better fighter than Jason Witt. Lemminger, Enkamp to win. Okay. Enkamp to win. Enkamp to win for minus 200. I agree with that. Do you think Machida will go 3 rounds versus Edwards? Yes, I think Machida will go 3 rounds against Edwards. Page is quite an underdog. You think Page gets it done? Hardly. Storley is a high-level wrestler. I think this is a nightmare matchup for Page. The only way for Page to win is to keep the fight standing for 3 rounds. You know, if Storley drags him to the ground, he's just gonna hold him, but it's gonna be enough to win the round. Page needs to be able to stay on the feet for 2 rounds. It's gonna be very, very hard. I see Storley decision in that fight. Hence, if you ask me, Vlad, who do you want to win that fight? Vlad is going to say, I want Page to win via stoppage. I want Page to win via stoppage, if you ask me. Like, if you want to put, like, risky bet, go Page stoppage. That's going to be, I think it's going to be plus 700, 600. Well, if Page keeps the fight standing, he's going to win. But I'm afraid, you know, when Storley slams you to the ground, his wrestling is brutal. 5-round fight. If it's 5-round fight, then Page has the chance. Then Page needs to win 3 rounds. Then he has the chance. Then I see it as a 50-50 fight. If it was 3 rounds, that's a problem. Like in a 5-rounder, it's a 50-50. It depends on how Page is going to counter. Then I do give solid chances to Page. Like, he is a massive underdog. Then I do like that. Then I really do like that, Dev the Dude. I really do like that, because if it's for the title, if it's 5 rounds, then okay, appreciate that. Thank you, man. If you ask me, like, if Page is gonna get this done, listen, if Page wants to win either a KO, either to win 3 rounds, but not easy to knock out Storley. Amosov was having a hard time, so he just needs to keep the fight on the feet. That's the only thing he needs to do. I mean, only. People gonna say only, but yeah, he could get a KO. Well, he needs a knockout when Storley shoots in. You know, the same Evangelista Santos KO. That's what he needs in this fight. Can he get it? Yes. Is he gonna get it? Amosov was unable to knock out Storley, and I see Amosov as better fighter than Page. Page is better on the feet, but overall Amosov is a better fighter, so let's hope I'm making a mistake. I would like to see Venom winning. Okay, I said Enkamp to win. Daniel Weichel versus Robert Whiteford. Now, let me see. Daniel Weichel, 41-13-0. 37 years of age, 5'10", 17 inches of reach, out of Frankfurt, Germany. Pedro Carvalho lost. Keone Dix win. Lost to Emmanuel Sanchez. Victory over Saul Rogers. Well, high-level names defeated him, like Patricio Pitbull, Goitia Mauchi. He has good submission game, good cardio, and he likes to roll. Robert Whiteford, 16-4-0, the Hammer, 5'9", 67 inches of reach. Weichel has reach advantage. That's interesting. Whiteford fighting out of Glasgow, Scotland. No contest against Andrew Fisher. The guy was better than Sam Cecilia. But when it comes to experience, yes, a former UFC name with a score of 3 losses, 2 wins. He defeated Daniel Pineda and Paul Redmond. But this fight is so tricky, man. Weichel is a favorite. Yeah, I see Weichel winning. Yes, those knees. That's exactly what I'm saying, Dev the dude. But if you want a risky bet, go Page KO. If you want risky bet, go Page KO. Weichel inside the distance for a risky bet. How much is Weichel inside the distance? Plus 3-0. I like that. Like, if you really want risky Page for Venom, then go with Venom knockout. I think that odd is going to be... I think that's going to be a very, very high level odd. At least that's how I see it. But again, that's how I see it. Yeah, that's how I see it. Just trying to pinpoint this could be a good way to go. Now we are going to transition to the main card. I already recorded something for the main card as I always release it, but I'm gonna change some edits. Just a second, guys. Just to change some edits. Okay, we're gonna get this done. We're gonna get underway, and let's see right now. Yeah, really much. Let's see how this one gonna play out. The main card is going to be between Luke Trainer and Simon de Jong. I see Luke Trainer win this fight. I already gave you a breakdown in this one. You know that Luke Trainer 5'0", 6'6", 81 inches of reach, coached by Brad Pickett. He's got stoppages over Sosnovsky, Alex Oto, Yannick Bahati, and the guy is a finisher, but a real finisher. Simon Biong, 7'2", Cameroonian mixed martial artist, 6'6", 74 inches of reach. UFD gym, but that loss to Christian Edwards was too easy. He lost to Vitaly. He defeated Vitaly Shemetov, but I don't see him knocking out Luke Trainer. Like, I think Luke Trainer is just gonna be too much for him, and Luke Trainer to win for minus 3-2. That's going to be victory for Luke Trainer. Now we are going to see the next. We are going to see the next fight, and like for Trainer versus Beyond, no distance. That's more of a safer pick for me. The fight will not go the distance. Yeah, minus 3-6, so that's okay. Pretty much okay. And let's see now. Paul Daly gonna fight Wendell Giacomo. Well, this is the last fight of Paul Daly. I already analyzed this fight on many occasions. Paul Daly is a vet of this sport. You know who already Paul Daly fought. Wendell Giacomo, 9-0. 5'10" Muay Thai fighter. I think Muay Thai fighter is a decent opponent for a guy like Paul Daly. This is the great way to end his career and to end his UFC run with a victory. I can't go against Paul Daly at his final match, so for the win of Paul Daly. minus 335 for the win of Paul Daly. I really see Paul Daly winning this one. And I hope Paul Daly is gonna pull this out. Really much confident Paul Daly is gonna pull this out. Then we got Kenna Watanabe versus Denise Kilfoltz. I picked Kenna Watanabe for the victory, and I know I might be pretty much criticized for that, but yeah, next pick is going to be Kenna Watanabe to win for minus 215, or Watanabe versus Kilfoltz, no distance. That odd is going to be minus 165. So you can choose between the two of them. But I already broke it down in like my Bellator main card predictions, so you can analyze that. You can really much analyze that nicely. You can take a look at it, and you can see how this looked like. How this looked like here. How I was trying to grind it out pretty much solidly. Fabian Edwards versus Lyoto Machida. Lyoto Machida at the end of his prime, but you know, I do think this fight goes the distance, like Edwards versus Machida. Edwards versus Machida goes the distance. Minus 200. Side pick, Edwards to win for minus 145. I already analyzed that, so there's no need to look back and to recap it all over again. Then I'm gonna go with the last one, like Logan Storley versus Michael Page. I only have two potential picks here. This is 5-rounder, so I only have two potential picks. One pick is Storley decision. Storley decision plus 120. That is one pick. And I have Page KO TKO. Page KO TKO plus 400. Page decision is very hard to happen, but if you ask me for a very, very risky bet, then Page decision might sound like a pretty much of a decent risky bet, if you know what I mean. Yeah, Page via decision, that could be a good day to deal with. Like Page wins via decision plus 800. So these are all the odds I like. These are literally all the odds I like, all the odds I'm enjoying it right now. And now you can ask me questions. Please ask me whatever you want. I'm willing to respond your questions. I will be live for. I will see. I will be live for maybe 30 more minutes. I think that's gonna be a nice place to be. I am trying to say that this was a good night for me, and yeah, I should give you my round robins now. Yeah, I should give you my round robins. That's something I completely forgot. Round robin is going to be, now look at this, my round robin. Round robin. Watanabe to win, plus 215. Another round robin. Green to win, plus 185. And Chadwick to win for plus 175. Let me see how much is that if you put $10. 10 times 3.5 times 2.85 times 2.75. $246. Doesn't sound that bad, does it? I really like this one. No, honestly. Doesn't look too bad. That kind of a round robin doesn't look too bad at all, lads. I mean, if we take a look at how functional it can be and what can we do with this round robin, if it hits, then it could really give us some high level achievement. I'm just saying that could really lead to some high level money if it hits the scale. This is my round robin for the upcoming weekend. I usually have 3 or 4 underdogs, or you can combine it with page KO, TKO, or combine it with Kalyanidu to win. I usually have more underdogs, no worries, I'm not going to lock this chat. In the case you don't know, I'm not going to lock this chat. I'm gonna let you rewatch this, I'm gonna let you reread this, and I'm not gonna be a bitch. I mean, I have a lot of die-hard fans, a lot of great fans, and some of my best fans and some of my greatest supporters in the world are always willing to fight with me until the last time breath, and it means a lot. It means a lot to me, your support. Your support means everything to me. Got to say, your support means everything to me, and you are the best, guys. Like, I've never wanted to be... I kicked off this job as a dream that had to come true. That's how I kicked off with this job, and I didn't expect that I was gonna become that popular. It was just a revelation of my dream. It was really, to some point, it was just a dream, as success cannot come overnight. I wasn't expecting such a high level of success in the world of MMA. As you know, I've always been bullied. I've always been rejected. Even in my homeland, people were not accepting me. But thanks God, there is internet. There are people who think like you. There are people who can. There are people who can understand you, no matter who you are, where you come from, and that's something. That's something that pretty much makes people happy. That level of understanding, that level of popularity, and that level of respect that you get from your great supporters, and from people who supported you, from people who followed you on every single step that you were making. And you are the lads, you really are the guys. So I'm pretty much confident that this is going to continue, guys. This kind of the cooperation, this kind of enjoyment. And yeah, I'm really hoping this is going to be a nice way to go, especially for all of us. We are definitely going to grow together as a family. We are definitely going to grow together as a family, and there are some high level stuff for all of us. For me, the first thing that I need to do is to focus on getting better health. My health is getting way better. Yes, I'm more sleepy, but these meds are helping me. I'm not anxious at all anymore. and I'm not having those problems. I'm very much in a great mood when I'm talking with you, my die-hard lads, and when we're exchanging thoughts, when we're riding on a roll, and that's awesome. That's an awesome level experience because my fans are the best thing that has ever happened to me. Like, you live in the world of rejection, you live in the world where nobody understands you, and out of nowhere, out of the blue, you find out the greatest fans of this sport. People who understand you, who speak like you, who are ready to share some parts of their lives with you and to help you grow. Like, the people who think the same like you. That is the greatest reward a human person can get. That really is the greatest reward a human person can get. If you ask me whether I would rather have a great community to discuss with or $1 million with haters, I would always choose a great community to discuss with. Of course, super chats, super thanks, they are always coming along the way. These are all signs of the respect, but at least I'm accepted somewhere. All my life, I just wanted to be accepted somewhere. I just wanted not to be that guy, that rejected guy. That's not what I wanted. Because it's hard when you're rejected, when nobody respects you. That's very hard. I understand you. Rozhansky, Ward, Enkamp, Daly, and possibly Page in a parlay. What do you think? Rozhansky, okay, that's okay. Ward, yes. Enkamp, yes. This is Daly's last fight. I can't pick against him in his last fight. Page. If you want to go with Page, KO or TKO, I see this as a 50-50 fight because I was thinking it's a 3-rounder, but then Dev the dude told me it's a 5-rounder. If it's 5-rounder, I see it as a 50-50 fight, so I do think Page would be able to pull it out if he keeps the fight standing for 3 rounds. Plus, he has extremely good knees, which could be a good way to defuse his opponent. I actually picked Chadwick against Rozansky, but Rozansky could pull this out. I mean, Chadwick is a hard guy to knock out. He can take a beating, but if it goes to judges' scorecards, I do see it. It might go anyway. I refuse to pick Storley against Page. It's either Page or pass. Fair enough. Fair enough, I agree. Well, you can also skip that fight, but I'm telling you, if you pick Page, I go with Page KO TKO. Storley versus Page prediction. Either Storley decision, either Page KO. One of these two is going to happen. Either Storley is going to hold him down for 3 rounds, or for 3, 4, 5 rounds. Either Page is going to knock him out with his brutal knees locked. I think Page is going to try to finish this one, in the style of Evangelista Santos, but he needs to keep the fight standing, which is not going to be easy against Toru. You know that Yaroslav Mosov was having a very, very much of a hard time against that guy. So, am I worried? Yes. Do I want Page to win? Yes, absolutely yes. If you ask me, Vlad, which is the pick of your heart, it's always going to be Michael Page because I love his style. I'm a big fan of Michael Page, and that's something I can't correct. I will be Page's fan forever. I mean, that clowning, those moves, those expressions, it just, it just something, it's just something you'll never forget. No, that's one of the reasons why I started loving Michael Page and why I started making his impressions. Page brought something new, some kind of a revolution into the world of mixed martial arts. It was brought by Michael Page. So, clowning, having fun inside the ring. These are things that were brought by Michael Page, that were brought by his outstanding ways of impressions and copycatting some other guys from the past, but in a creative way. Creativity. Creativity was the trademark of Michael Venom Page. It's creativity. All those clownings, throwings, quick moves, great counters. It's all the part of Michael Page's. It's all the part of Michael Page's creativity. You know, just Michael Page has always been extremely creative dude, and his creativity definitely rocked. So I have to say that Page's creativity is bringing a lot of pay-per-views. I'm not saying about trash talk, I'm just saying about behavior inside the ring. I think Page is a golden goose because of that. Just because of that, just because of the fact that he is able to bring a lot of views to his fans, and because he's always ready to keep the crowd entertained. Crowd just loves him. I will speak for all that. Don't want to say it, but we appreciate your insight for all the cards you break down. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I'm very much glad that you appreciate it. Very, very much glad that you appreciate it. I'm really trying to work as hard as possible. I do have few more other jobs in my real life, but whenever I have time, I'm trying to give 100% to this. I mean, I can pay my bills from this job, but I can't earn God knows how much money. So I can earn like to pay bills, to eat, and that's it. So I must work. I must work other jobs. I'm also soccer ref. I'm also writing some kinds of articles, and every single day it's just a battle. So when you love something, there are no limits. Like I'm also training MMA. Just to know, I'm also training MMA. Despite all my health issues, I don't want to surrender. I don't want to give up. I will never do that. Like, you know who surrenders? Like, you can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm doing all kinds of impressions. I'm showing all kinds of stuff, of technical aspect of the game. Majority of bookies are like, okay, I have a stats, I have this, I have that, but that's not me. No, that's not me. I'm a guy who understands the technical aspect of the game, and I'm always trying to push technical aspect of the game into everything. Like, it's okay if you follow streaks, if you follow like current shape, etc. But what can your fighter do inside the octagon? What are his positive and negative sides? You should think about it. You should really think about it. If your fighter can pull something, hey champ, how are you doing? If your fighter can, for example, perform Ippon Seoinage and his opponent offers excellent Ippon Seoinage counter, of course his opponent is going to be a tricky place or a tricky guy to deal with for him. So you just need to think logically. There are some good and bad sides. But thinking, sitting, it's awesome. Great, thanks. Just want to say Leah is a monster and he will get arrested soon. Oh, thanks for sharing this. How are you doing anyway, champ? I mean, I see you and Ilya are not in friendly relationships again, but you know, it's sometimes, you know, without Ilya on Imani's chat, it would have been boring. I got to say, it would have been boring. I was thinking about lighting candles for Tony Ferguson. I was really thinking about that, but then I said, man, I hope Tony Ferguson might actually have another fight to return. Hence, I think this is the end of Tony Ferguson. Yes, I do think this is the end of Tony Ferguson as a die-hard Tony Ferguson's fan. But I want him to see a return. I don't know, I just want to believe in miracles. I'm idealistic, guys. I'm very much idealistic. I want to believe in miracles. And miracles happen. If you believe enough, it's going to happen. Like, I needed a miracle to become the best Bulgarian MMA YouTuber because I kicked off. I kicked off from a zero. I literally kicked off from a zero with a zero support. just to know. Even my family didn't supported me in the early stages, so I needed a lot of luck and I needed a lot of positive people, and that for you. He hasn't been good, to be honest, with these UFC cards. I'm kind of scared for the UFC with their pay-per-view numbers. Do you think they will die soon? Pay-per-view numbers are dropping, man, so you're worried for a reason. Yes, you're worried for a reason, man. I don't see them dying soon, but some things will have to change. I mean, boxers are overpaid compared to UFC fighters, and I think UFC fights are way more dangerous than boxing fights. I know boxing fights are way more dangerous if you watch it long term, but if you watch it short term, it's kind of other way around. It's pretty much other way around. So people should appreciate them more. I think they deserve way more respect. That's how I see it coming. I think that some massive changes are needed. Just if you ask me which kind of changes, I'm not sure what to answer to that question, but pay-per-view numbers are dropping. And the low number of pay-per-view buys means that popularity is dropping too. Popularity could rise if we see another Conor McGregor. And do you think this will help increase fight of the night bonuses to 250k, then performance bonuses to 300k? Well, it should help, but you also need that could be another way to help people. But there is something else. Boxers, for example, for a regular fight, they get. For a regular fight, boxers earn like 100k, 200k, 500k. Average boxers for a regular fight. And how much do UFC fighters earn at the beginning of their UFC run? They don't earn much, do they? They fight for $10,000, $15,000, which is compared to the price of training camp zero, because they lose all the money for accommodate, for hotel, for training camps, and first fight is 15k. Don't increase fight pay, just increase bonuses for better performances. Well, bonuses, if you increase bonuses, that could be a very good idea to start with. Plus, you should increase the number of pay-per-views. Who are your three most confident picks for Bellator 281? My three most confident picks are, now I'm going to tell you. Just a second. Charlie Ward, Luke Trainer, Paul Daly. I'm going to write you. These three. I mean, not saying they are locks, but most confident. Like, this is Daly's last fight. If he retires with a loss, then fuck the whole career, man. Like, it's never easy to retire with a loss, and I don't think he will retire with a loss. It would be too much. To be honest, Vlad, I think Oliveira would lose to Benil Dariush. Well, there's only one way to find out. Who do you think will fight Oliveira next? No, really, who do you think will fight Oliveira next? Technically, Gaethje lost, so I think it's gonna be a winner of Benil Islam, or maybe, yeah, winner of Benil Islam would be a great fight for Oliveira. Yeah, their winner. Like, that division doesn't have a champ right now. My weekend was brutally ruined, Robert. You know that my weekend was brutally ruined. When I've heard that Oliveira missed the scale, when Cowboy versus Luzon got cancelled, when Tony got knocked out, my weekend was ruined, man. My weekend was so fucking ruined. I mean, Moss said, Vlad, we still have the fights on etc. That's okay. Fights were on. I enjoyed the fights, but Cowboy didn't fight. And Oliveira missed the scale, so technically I switched to no distance from Oliveira. But guess what? Oliveira, he won, and he is not a champ right now because of 250 pounds. And I mean, isn't it sad, guys? Let's just think honestly. My picks are horrible, like what I lost Gaethje Oliveira. What about this UFC parlay? Tatsuro Taira, Davy Grant, and Hadley. I placed my money on Tatsuro Taira in one single, and I placed my money on Nick Maximov in other single. Tatsuro Taira, Davy Grant, and Hadley. These are my picks, so... Well, I have the same picks like you, champ. Tatsuro Taira, Davy Grant, and Hadley, but I only put money on Tatsuro Taira. One parlay, and second parlay I put money on Nick Maximov. Like, he wasn't smoking him. He caught him with a shot just because he was worried about getting on the fence too much. Well, maybe, but I'm just saying. Unfortunately, victory is a victory. I actually think Tony was better on the scorecards than Chandler prior to getting caught with that front kick. After Fabio Diata and Debbie Montes lost their undefeated streaks in Bellator, PFL last week, it's hard to pick Luke Trainer. I was leaning more towards Ward, Enkamp, and Daly as a confident three. You can switch it for Enkamp. I'm also having a solid level of confidence in Enkamp. I also picked Enkamp to win for -200. You can also switch for Enkamp if you want to. Gaethje wouldn't get caught with that shot if they fought again. We'll see. The Tony loss made me weak, though. Did you feel big depression? Yes. I mean, I'm sure that you watched. My stream, and you've seen how depressed I was. I actually picked Chandler to win, and the MMA guru would be like, "Yes, I want the bet," and I was like, "Oh no." Tony is out cold with his feet curled. Do you remember, Robert? Oh no. Tony is out cold with his peaks curled. Yes, I was feeling a big depression. I was depressive for like the next 24 hours. Well, it wasn't a nice moment for me. Tony looked like the OG. He was smiling and looking smooth, man. Well, he looked, man, but he got caught. He was out with his legs curled. I literally started crying when I said that. Do you remember that I literally started crying? Do you remember that, Robert? You were in my chat. Do you remember that I literally started crying when I said that? It was like this. No way, did you? It was like this to start crying. I came like this to start crying. I was nearly crying. Me too, man. I mean, you can rewatch what I said. I was like this to start crying. Like this, literally, when Tony got caught. He wasn't looking that bad in the fight. I was having a hope that Tony was gonna pull this out. Despite I picked against him, I was hoping that my pick was gonna be wrong. It was like a death scene. Yes, it was a death scene, man. For me, it was a death scene. Brutal death scene for me, man. I mean, imagine seeing the member of your top 5 getting knocked out like that. It's nerve-wracking, man. I literally started crying. I mean, I was like this close to start crying when I said that he was out cold with his feet curled. It was like, I wanted Chandler to win because Tony had basically no chance at winning against any elite grappler or Gaethje again. Unless I don't know the fighters that well, I have good picks every time. I picked Chandler because I thought, because of your argument, my IQ is 2. I wanted Chandler to win because Tony had basically no chance at winning against any elite grappler or Gaethje again. That's one of the reasons. Why I picked Tony, because he was dealing elite wrestler. But I was hoping that I was making a mistake. I was literally hoping that I was making a terrible mistake. Well, you have good arguments every time, Robert. I must give you credits for that. We disagree on many occasions, but your arguments are always on point. So it's something that really, how to say, it's something that is really inspirational. Ideally, I wanted Chandler to win barely after like a 3-round back and forth war, which Tony wins the last round of, but that's not what happened. Well, I wanted to see Tony winning, man. I knew he was a massive underdog, but I wanted to see him winning so badly, and it didn't happen. It didn't come to fruition. And who have we got to blame right now? We can't blame our guys. There are the only guys to blame here is, believe or not, we can only blame Tony for eating that unnecessary blow. It was totally unnecessary blow, and he was probably thinking that he was gonna block a high kick, and he tried to do this, which is normal when you block a high kick, but when you block a front kick to the chin, that's a suicide. Literally, when you block a front kick to the chin, that's a suicide. That's really much suicidal. It really was suicidal, guys. The thing is, Chandler does have a real chance at beating Oliveira in a rematch. Unlike Tony, I'd probably pick him. Well, that rematch would be fun to see, you know? Chandler was teeing him up on the feet, and then out of nowhere, Oliveira bounced back. So Chandler's pressure actually created a lot of damage to Charles Oliveira. So I think that kind of a pressure would be a good way to deal with him. I really think that kind of a pressure would be a dangerous way to deal with him, and to maybe teach him, try to teach him a lesson. That could be a good idea and a good way to go, if you ask me, in the first place. I'm gonna be live for 2 more minutes just to know, but I do agree with that. My IQ is to it. It basically makes sense. The only thing that can beat Olives is a super explosive striker like Chandler, or a super strong grappler like Khabib. I think super explosive striker with a lot of straight shots, explosive shots, and very hard strikes to parry. Very hard strikes to counter, etc. You should have very much. You should have someone who is very hard to counter, and Chandler is actually pretty much hard to counter when he is not tired, but I had a feeling that he started slowing down in round 2. McGregor has a great chance. Yes, McGregor does have a great chance. Sorry, Robert Nightbot. Nothing personal. Sorry, man. I would never ban you, you know that. McGregor has a great chance. Yes, he does. Yes, why not? If he's able to keep the fight on the feet, why not? Why not? As long as he keeps the fight on the feet, these left-hand counters could create a serious problems to Olives. But if the fight gets dragged to the ground, I've been saying that, and people are like, "Oh, it would be his easiest fight." Well, Conor evolved through time. He improved grappling. He improved striking. His angles are different now, so I do think that he would stand a chance as long as he's able to keep the fight standing. So I do think he would have a great chance, just a great. He pulled the guillotine against Dustin and was defending the takedown fine. Yeah, I know. His takedown defense is pretty much solid. He will just have to work on chain wrestling defense against Charles Oliveira, against guard pulling defense. Do you think MVP's fight will be fun or boring like the last one? Well, it depends on Logan Storley. If Logan Storley constantly shoots in and tries to drag Page to the ground, gonna be extremely boring. But if Page is able to keep it on the feet, Then we will see clowning, we'll see a lot of fainting, movement. But if you ask me, I would rather pick boring fight. I would rather bet on a boring fight because we'll see a lot of tactical matchup, and if Storley drags him to the ground, it's gonna be a problem. Storley is actually a wrestler. He is more of a grappling type of a guy, unfortunately. And Page is a typical striker. I mean, Yaroslav also was having a hard time against Logan Storley, so that worries me. That part of the game worries me. It really, really worries me because I don't want to see Storley winning, but either it's going to be Storley decision, either it's going to be Venom Page via KO, TKO. Page can catch him with those knees, guys, and I'm pretty much confident he can do it. So it's either going to be Storley decision or it's going to be Page KO, TKO. Yeah, when you're fighting at a high level, fights have to turn boring. Like, for example, Namajunas versus Esparza kind of reminded me on Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou 1. I really hope MVP was worked on his takedown defense. I want him as a champ. Me too. I want him as a champ too. I'm just saying, Logan Storley is a tough guy to deal with. Yaroslav also barely defeated him via split decision, and we've seen a lot of high-level performance from him. Alright, guys, thank you so much for being in this chat. A lot of respect to all of you. I'm pretty much tired of being at the match. I was working, I was having some obligations. Tomorrow I must travel, so I must get up very early on, but I'm getting back for the veins. I will be here. And have a great day, everyone. Goodbye, and catch you later. Now I need to get some sleep, and tomorrow getting up early. Have a great day, everyone, and let's enjoy. We will enjoy tomorrow at the veins.